Hi everyone, just doing a video today on the 13 different half marathon courses that I've run, and we're going to rank them from 13th down to my favourite one. Just a bit of background, probably like a lot of people before lockdown very rarely did any running at all, so the thought of actually getting out to do a run wasn't great, and then never mind a half marathon would have been kind of near impossible. Through lockdown, started running with my mate, and then when lockdown finished, got into doing the park runs, the 5Ks onto the 10Ks. Eventually did the Great Enough Run, which was my first ever half marathon, and I just got the bug big style. So through 2023, I did a sort of charity running challenge, which was doing 12 half marathons for Mary Curie through the whole sort of year, and this is where I'm gonna sort of rank the top. All of the half marathons that I've done, starting off from my least favourite. I'd say I didn't not enjoy any of them, but my least favourite down to the sort of top few and the reasons why. So to make it fair, I'm going to talk about the sort of course, rank the course out of 5. I'm going to talk about the atmosphere of the run itself out of 5, and then we'll give the medal a rank out of 5 as well. So that's how kind of to format it. So we'll get on with it then. So number 13, coming in last place, was the Winter Warmer Newcastle. This course is basically if you've ever done the park run at Exhibition Park in Newcastle, it's just 4 laps. So the 10K and the half marathons on the same day. So you do the 4 laps of the park. It's really flat. And it's a pretty mundane course, so it kind of got repetitive a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of doing like circuits for a half marathon, so I'm only going to give it 1 out of 5 scores for the course. The atmosphere, again, pretty quiet. Not a lot of people get out for it. I think the time of year it was as well. It's freezing cold, so I'm only going to give the atmosphere a 1 out of 5 for that. And the medal. Again, the medal I thought was pretty basic. That's a medal there for the Winter Warmer, and again, very, very similar. They'll do a lot of races up and down the country, so they'll all be the kind of same medal. There's nothing to sort of make it like distinctly Newcastle or anything like that, so it's just pretty basic. But that was the Winter Warmer, and that comes in at 13th place. Coming in number 12. Was my second run of that year. Actually, it was the Heaton Park, Manchester. Very similar to the Winter Warmer. It is a park run course, and it's 4 laps, but the course is a little bit more challenging, and there's a little bit more to see around that. So there's a bit of elevation in there. It was like 269 meters elevation, so when you went up the first bank, you know you've got to do that 3 more times, so it was quite daunting. But I'll give the course 2 out of 5 for that. And atmosphere, a bit of a marked improvement on the Winter Warmer. There was a lot more crowd out there, and they were cheering on, and it was actually quite a decent atmosphere. So I'll give the atmosphere 2 out of 5. And the medal, again, very, very similar to the Winter Warmer. Another company that'll do a lot of the same sort of runs, and that was the medal. So it's pretty basic, nothing to it on there. So I'll give the medal, again, just a 1 out of 5 for the Heaton Park run. Like my time for that one, even though it was challenging, was pretty solid. I got it in 1:42, so that was a well, for the start of the second run, that was actually my PB at that time. Coming in then at 11th place was a run called Helmsley, and now this was in like Thirsk, and it was down as a trail run. And when I was trying to plan out my year and booking runs in each of the month, there was nothing for that month, so it was and I didn't actually realise it was a trail run, to be honest, when I booked it. Anyway, I got there, and it was an eye-opener. It was running, jumping over fences, up sort of steps and stuff, so it was almost like a full-on cross-country, but I enjoyed it. There was like nearly 500 metres of elevation, so it was really challenging, and it took us like 2 hours, 7 minutes to complete, so it was like my longest time for a half marathon that I'd done so far. But I'll give the course a 3 out of 5. Actually, there was a hell of a lot to see, and it was really picturesque. So the course was definitely a 3 out of 5. Atmosphere wise, pretty non-existent. There wasn't really a lot of people there, bar the sort of couple hundred runners that was doing it. So I'll give that a 1. And the medal, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5, but it's a little bit different. Not your usual type medal, so a little bit unique. So we're going to give that a 2. out of 5. Then we have 10th place. I'll go with the Gateshead half marathon. So this course, starting off at Gateshead Stadium in Newcastle, and you head down to the quayside. You're running along, I think you go along the swing bridge, you come back in, you run right down the side of the quayside and then back. But you had to do a couple of laps of it. A bit of hills, it was like 122 elevation wise, but it wasn't too bad. Course wasn't the best, but it had its decent bits, some views of the Tyne Bridge and stuff like the Millennium Bridge. And then you finished on the track, which was cool, at Gateshead Stadium. So your last sort of 400 metres was on the track. But I'll give the course 2 out of 5. Atmosphere-wise, I'm going to give a 3. It was almost like, I suppose, like a kind of mini Great North Run. Plenty of people out and about. Certainly on the bridge in Newcastle part, that was packed. So that was really good. So I'll give that a 3 out of 5. And then medal. This is actually the medal for the Gateshead half marathon, and I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Now, the reason it's only going to get a 2 is because actually, whilst it is bespoke, it's got the 10k and the half marathon, so there's nothing really. They didn't have separate medals, which I thought was a bit poor. They could have had separate medals for doing the different runs. So I'm just going to give that a 2 out of 5. Then moving on, we have the Carlisle half marathon. Really enjoyed this one. There was about 87 metres elevation wise, and I got 136, which again was a personal best at that time. Course wise, you start at Brunton Park, the home of Carlisle United, and then you're running into Carlisle City Centre, and then you run out of the town and back. So it wasn't like a circuit. It was a full sort of, you start and finished in the same place. So course I'm going to give 3 out of 5. Atmosphere wise, really enjoyed it. A hell of a lot of people out and about. So I'll give the atmosphere a solid 3 out of 5 for that. But the medal, probably the only thing that lets it down, to be fair. So I'm going to give the medal a 2. A 2 out of 5. Pretty basic, but it has got that little bit on with a little bit of an addition. But I'm going to give the medal a 2 out of 5 for that. Then moving on, we've got the Manchester half marathon. So there's 2 marathons that I've done in Manchester. The half being the one that starts more, it's actually probably more like Sale area. You're running around Sale, you start quite close to Old Trafford. And it was decent, pretty flat, but the course was fun. I'm going to give the course 3 out of 5. Atmosphere again, I'll give it a 3. Solid. It probably could have been more, but it was a real early start. So I don't think people were out of the bed by the time we finished the run. I think it started like 8 in the morning. And the medal I'm going to give a 2 out of 5. I haven't actually got the medal on me now. It's downstairs on the wall. A fair few of the runs I've done, I've put them in a frame, put my time on, and they're on there. So while I'm talking, I'll flip a photo on so people can see the medal, but I'll give that a 2. And the time I got for that was just shy of 1:40 for the Manchester half marathon. Then we go on to number 7, and we're going with the Royal Parks London. This was sort of October time. My times are progressively, I would say, getting slower. Pretty much halfway through the series of challenges, it was the Leeds half marathon. I sustained a bit of an injury, and I just kind of plodded on and got on with it. So my time started really taking a hit, but I had to see out the rest of the challenge. So Royal Parks London, I'm going to give the course a 4 out of 5. Again, you're running through some of the best parks in London. You get some great sights. Atmosphere, we're going to give a solid 3 out of 5. And the medal, again, the thing that lets this one down is the medal. They went down the whole eco-friendly, we're going to give you a wooden medal. Nothing to it. Not a fan. Then we're going to go to number 6, and this is the other half marathon in Manchester. So the Great Run Manchester half marathon. Start in the city centre. The whole, I suppose, city was up for the run. You could see the branding everywhere over the weekend. The course, you see both stadiums in Manchester, and you finish in the city centre. The course was brilliant. I'm going to give a solid 4 out of 5 for the course. Atmosphere, again, 4 out of 5. It is what I suppose they're a great company, the Great Run company. They always really well organised runs, and this was no exception. So it was up there with the likes of Great North runs for me. So I'm going to give the Atmosphere a 4 out of 5. Talk about the medal for the Manchester half. This is the medal that you get for finishing it. Pretty basic, nothing to really shout Manchester on it, but we'll give it a 2 out of 5 for that. And the time that I finished that was 1:44. And we're going to head into the top 5 now. So top 5 runs, we've got coming in at 5th place, we've got the Leeds half marathon. Now, pretty challenging course. There is a bit of incline, but you start and finish at Heaton, the home of Leeds Rhinos. Really well organised. The finish is cracking. You know, the whole of the city was getting behind this running. Obviously, it meant a lot to a lot of people. It was raising money for Motor Neuron, and obviously with Rob Burrow as well. Everyone was doing it, running for him, and he kind of was the name feature of the main marathon. So the full marathon and the half marathon both on the same day. A lot of people out for it. It was a massive day, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give the course 3 out of 5. Atmosphere wise, I'm actually going to give it 4 out of 5 because I think that last sort of mile to Heaton was packed, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. So one of the best I've had. So I'll give a solid 4. And the medal, actually going to give a 3 out of 5. That's the medal, pretty chunky one, but yeah, half decent. So we're going to give a 3 out of 5 for the medal. And then we'll come into number 4, which is actually my hometown run, the Great North Run. Now, people are probably shocked why I haven't put it first. Whilst it is the biggest run, I definitely didn't think it was the best run. So, and the reasons why, the course itself is like, it's the start is amazing. Like, the start is great. You're running down, you're over the Tyne Bridge, you've got the red arrows, it's electric. After that, you're basically just running along the Felon bypass, so it's not exactly the most picturesque area of town. But it definitely picks back up towards the end when you're coming on South Shields Beach, and you've got the nice finish on the beach. But I'm going to give the course a 3 out of 5. But the atmosphere is what makes the Great North Run special, and it's a 5 out of 5. The atmosphere is absolutely outstanding. Families out in the streets, signs, horns, music, bands, everything you've got is there, and it's probably why it's going to remain on everyone's bucket lists. You've got to try the Great North Run once, at least if you're a runner. And even if you're not a runner, everyone's out there raising a hell of a lot of money for charity. It's a brilliant day. And the medal, this is probably one of them that actually lets it down a little bit for me, because that's the medal. Very, very similar to the 10k one, and quite similar to all the other ones since they're sponsored by AJ Bell. They all kind of look the same. I'll flip a couple of photos from previous Great North runs of the previous years that I've did, that I think were considerably better. But for this one, it's going to bring the score down a little bit, because I'm only going to give the medal a 2 out of 5 for that. But definitely still, amazing day, and it's kind of memories forever. Number 3, we're going to give it to the London Landmarks half. The best half marathon I've done in London out of the 2. Really flat, course-wise, exceptional. You're seeing, well, it's in the name of it, you're seeing all the landmarks of London. You've got everything there. The crowd's out. It's a closed road run in London, so it's something special. It lived up to all the hype for me. It was one of my favourite runs I've done. Atmosphere-wise, we're going to give it a 4. It's a brilliant atmosphere. The finish was great, but actually there was music going on. It was up there. Not quite as good as a Great North Run, but it was definitely up there. One of the times you go to London and you get nice hospitality, actually. Medal-wise, again, it's up on my wall, so I'll flick a photo on now, but it's getting a banging 5 out of 5. The medal was unique. something different, and it is one of the best ones I've got. So London Landmarks is 100% worth doing, and I think it's getting more popular every year. It's definitely it's a balloted run now, so it's hard to get into. That tells you that people enjoy that one and they want to do it. Final two. This one coming at 2 was actually my last run of the challenge that I did in 2023. By that time, my body was in bits, so it took us like 1 hour and 59 actually to do it. Elevation wise, it was 100 meters, and the run was actually Philadelphia half marathon. The course, we're giving it a 4 out of 5. The course was brilliant. You're seeing everything and you're finishing at the rocky steps. Like, it's something like you've got to do, and after the run and you climb up them steps and you've got your medal there, and it's brilliant. And it brings me back to the reasons why I was doing the challenge. Like, I lost my grandma earlier the year previous, so I really wanted to set a challenge and raise money for the charity that meant a lot, and it was in memory of her. So kind of had a moment to myself at the top of them steps, thinking like, remembering her and remembering like what I've achieved to do that. And I definitely had a moment and it was really special. But the city for this run was electric. Like, it is, I've been to a lot of places in America, and I've never been to Philadelphia, and they're so friendly, and it was a city that I'll tell anyone it's so underrated. And it was a hell of a run. The only downside I'd say to these runs in America is that to get there, you couldn't get your race card, your race number sent to you, so you had to collect it at the expo. I was only going for 2 nights to do the run and come home, so I got there the night before the run and literally like caught the expo, and if I couldn't have got there, I wouldn't have got my race number. So that's one thing to bear in mind if you are going to do it. And traditionally they do start running really early in the morning, so it was a very, very early start, but with jet lag, it was perfect. The atmosphere, yeah, we've talked about that. Brilliant. One of the best I've been to be honest. And then the medal, you can hear it before you show it. It is, look at this. Look at this bad boy. That is a medal. You know, when you finish running, you can not only hear people finish, but you can see it and you can hear it. So that's outstanding. 5 out of 5 for the Philadelphia half marathon. Should be on everyone's bucket list. Then number 1, that was close, but number 1 for me was actually the Berlin half marathon. Again, collecting your numbers at an expo, but this expo was at a defunct airport, which had so much history. It was amazing. And then the run itself, the course, the landmarks that you see, the history, and you know, you don't realise you've even ran because your eyes are everywhere looking at all the stuff. And to finish at the Brandenburg Gates was exceptional. Like, in typical German fashion, it was well organised, everything was taken care of. You could still get hotels relatively cheap on that weekend as well, so it was spot on. So the course, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5. The atmosphere, top notch. Up there with Philadelphia, up there with the Great North Run as well, to be honest, and the landmarks in London. But I'm going to give the atmosphere a 4 out of 5. And the medal, again, another one that's up on my wall, but I'm going to give the medal a solid 5 out of 5 for the medal. It's distinctly Berlin. You can see the landmarks on it. They've put effort into that, and they do every year by the looks of it. So 5 out of 5 for the medal. I'd 100% do it again. Berlin holds my PB at 133. So that is, and it's definitely a PB chasing course. It's only 31 meters at elevation. But it should be on everyone's bucket list. It was on mine. I'm so glad I've done it, and I'll 100% do it again at some point. So yeah, that's my list. And a little bit about the reasons why I've done it. Challenges going forward. What does 2025 hold? Well, a couple of different challenges, and I'll probably do a little video in the year about how it's getting on. But I'm gonna do a Land's End to John O'Groats running challenge, so it's like 1,700 odd kilometers in the year running. So that is a challenge. It works out at around 5k a day. So that starts January 1st and runs through, and the challenge is to run it all in the year. And then I've got the marathon training. So I've signed up to the Edinburgh Marathon in May. It's a whole different world of training, but that starts in January, and it's something definitely taking me out my comfort zone. I can comfortably run a half marathon now. I love doing it. The thought of turning around after running a half marathon and turning back makes us physically sick, but it's a challenge that I want to do, and I've set my mind on that. So that's in May, and then we've got the Great North Run in September. And depending on if I can still walk after them, we'll see if we'll chuck another couple of half marathons in. But definitely keen to find out what everyone else's top half marathons are. So chuck your ideas in the comments of where you've been. Any suggestions you think I should go and run, put them in. And doesn't matter where it is. My partner's probably sick of getting dragged to do sort of places where I have half marathons now. But it makes it, if you go away somewhere, you're going away for a few days and you run first, set you right up, then you can go and enjoy yourself as well. So we're looking out for more. So hire your suggestions in. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. See you.